What's up, guys? You're listening to another episode of Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. In this episode, we're going to talk about the changes to Amazon's fees in 2024. So if you are a current Amazon seller, you're definitely going to want to be aware of all the changes coming in 2024 to your fees, so you can have an idea of how this is going to impact, obviously, your profit margin moving forward. And again, for those of you who are maybe getting ready to start your brands in 2024, this is also going to apply. A lot of these changes are not taking place till later in the year, April, June. I'll mention the dates in the episode of when these changes are taking place. But again, good to stay on top of this kind of stuff. Now, if you are someone who really wants to stay on top of the Amazon game, more than just, the podcast episodes that I put out weekly, I would highly recommend checking out my Anaconda program at the least. That actually gives you access to my weekly live Q&A call. I actually do a segment every single week. In fact, my call is tomorrow as of recording this podcast episode with my students. I have a segment called Amazon News and Updates, and I literally go over stuff just like this with my students every week. My students who are going to be listening to this episode have already heard all these fee updates and changes because I talked about it right when it came out back at the beginning of December. But I figured, you know what? This would be really good for everyone else to be aware of as well. So here we go with a podcast episode on the topic as well. But again, if you're interested in that, guys, lifetime access is a great value. You get course content, you get support. We got a Facebook group. Like I said, the weekly calls, you can ask me questions in there. Yeah, it's a great program. There's more info on my website in the description of the podcast. Now, if you are watching on my YouTube channel, AMZ with Andy Isom, I'm going to be doing some screen sharing here so you can see some tables, some numbers and things, and kind of get a feel for where to go to find some more information about these fees as well. So shout out to everyone who is subscribed over on the YouTube channel. All right, I do apologize. I'm going to be doing a little bit of reading for our podcast episode today, but for a lot of the stuff, right, this is coming straight from the mouth of Amazon. So it's better just to state it exactly how they're stating it so you can be clear on what the changes are. So coming here from the Amazon news release about Amazon's fee changes for 2024. As we look to 2024, we will implement a set of fee changes that continue to provide you with a great value and allow us to partner together to offer customers amazing service while reducing our collective costs to do so. After these changes, we expect that sellers will see an average increase of 15 cents in fees per unit sold, which is significantly less than the increases announced by other logistics providers. However, we also expect that there will be many sellers who will see a decrease in the average fees paid to Amazon per unit sold, which sounds shocking, but we'll talk about some things that they're doing to decrease fees as well, which is nice to hear. Okay, in particular, we will focus on how we partner together to inbound and place inventory across our network. Placing inventory close to customers improves the speed of those orders, driving more sales at lower transportation cost. To enable more efficient use of our network, we will begin charging separately for inbound and outbound activities. As a result, we will lower our outbound fees while creating new inbound fees that you can reduce or avoid entirely based on how you inbound products to us. So to kind of recap that statement right there, Amazon is adding some inbound fees, which means when you are shipping your inventory to Amazon's FBA warehouses, there's going to be some different fees associated with that. We're going to go over them right now. And on the flip side, the outbound fees, which is like what you traditionally see as the Amazon FBA fees, right, in your fee dashboard going out to customers, those are going to be decreasing a little bit. But when you factor in the inbound fees plus the reduction of outbound fees, they're saying on average a 15-cent increase per unit sold, but yours could be lower. There's some things you can do here. So here we go. Inbound fees. We will introduce an inbound placement service fee for standard and large bulky size products to reflect our cost of distributing inventory to fulfillment centers close to customers. These fees will average 27 cents per unit for standard size and $1.58 per unit for large bulky size products. If you go over here, I'm in Amazon Seller Central Help now, showing this on YouTube if you guys are watching. On the FBA inbound placement service, you can see that there are two types of services. There's a premium service and a discounted service. The premium service allows you to send all of your inventory to a single receive center. Now, if you do that, you are going to have an additional fee. There's also a discounted service where you can send your inventory to multiple inbound locations for a reduced fee or even no fee. The discount will depend on several factors such as number of shipments and inbound locations you send your inventory to. Interesting. So let's say you're going to send 2,000 units and you've got a whole bunch of different SKUs, like you're like us, right? You have a whole bunch of different variations, different products. You're sending 2,000 units off to Amazon. Well, you go and you create your shipment in the send to Amazon workflow, and it's going to give you an option. It's going to say, do you want to send all of this to one warehouse? And it will have show you the fee that you're going to have to pay. Or you can choose to split up shipments, and some of it will go to like Stockton, California. Some of it will go to Phoenix. Some of it will go to Henderson, Nevada. Like it will decide depending on where you live and everything. It will tell you where these are going, but they're all going to be split up. So there's some pros and cons to each, right? There's a definite pro to sending everything to one warehouse, because it minimizes the risk of stuff getting lost and delays and check-ins and stuff, right? It's consolidation, right? So there's definite benefits there. But if you're someone where you're really trying to, maximize your profit margin and minimize your expenses, sending it to the multiple warehouses and taking that risk, that might be an option for you as well. So just kind of get a feel for what those fees are for your products and how that kind of impacts your profit margin and whatnot. So keep that in mind. Now, I did read something here. I got to find it. I did read something that it's going to be most expensive to send products on the West Coast. It actually says right here, the fee range will vary by inbound location, with higher fees for shipments sent to inbound locations in the West versus other parts of the country. Which kind of sucks for us because a lot of our inbound warehouses are in Stockton, California, Phoenix, Henderson, Nevada. Like I told you, those are the main ones that we send our stuff to. So if you're on the East Coast, probably some good news there because your fees are not going to be as high as us West Coast people. But right here on this page, you can see the fees for the different size categories. So small standard, large standard, you can see either send to a single location or send to multiple locations. It says, you're going to have a discount. So here's what's interesting. This small standard, 16 ounces or less, it could be 21 to 30 cents per unit. That's a big fee to add on just to be able to send everything to one warehouse. So they're very, very much trying to incentivize people not to do that and let them choose where your inventory goes. It makes sense though. It makes sense. This is why they're doing this. When you send products to Amazon, you are paying the shipping. You're using the UPS partner carrier pricing, but you're paying the shipping to distribute your inventory to Amazon's warehouses. Now think about it. If you send everything to one warehouse, Amazon now is covering the cost to distribute it from, let's say, Stockton, California, all over the United States. So when all your inventory gets checked in Stockton, California, and then it gets distributed to all the other warehouses and it gets on trucks and planes and whatever, Amazon's covering those charges and those operational costs. But if you send some to Stockton, some to Texas, some to Kansas, some to Minnesota, you're already covering some of those costs, right? To distribute it out a little bit more than what Amazon would have to obviously cover. So it makes sense. Like they're trying to get you to cover those distribution costs instead of Amazon doing it. But you could kind of weigh the shipping costs up, like mess around with it a little bit and kind of see where the dollars fall for you. Okay, next, inbound. We will decrease FBA fulfillment fee rates for standard size products by 20 cents per unit and for large bulky size products by 61 cents per unit. These fee changes will apply starting April 15th. I forgot to mention the fee changes for the inbound placement, the one we were just talking about, March 1st. So this FBA fulfillment fee rates, you can see that on this page as well here in Amazon Seller Central. US FBA fulfillment fee changes. You can see all the different tiers where your product will fall into, and then you can see like the fee from January 15th to February 4th. There's a fee. Then there's a different fee from February 5th to April 14th, and then the final fee starting April 15th. So here's what's kind of crazy. From January to February 4th, I think it's just going to be like the old way. That's what basically this table is showing right here that I'm showing on screen. Starting in February to April, that's when they introduced the new tiers. So you notice there's a whole bunch of new size tiers. Instead of just like 4 ounce, 4 to 8, now you got 2 ounce, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, way more tiers. They're breaking it down a lot more for the different sizes of products. And then April 15th, they're adding on the new fee, which you'll notice, like if you compare these fees across the board, they are dropping. They're dropping kind of significantly, I guess, from like the February to April and then April on. But then if you were to compare that to, let's say, what is this, 6 to 8? So this would fall in like the 4 to 8, the old fee. So basically the fees are going to go like, I'm just using an example here, 4 to 8 ounce small standard product. Right now, the fee is $3.40. February 5th, it's going to go up to maybe $3.49 if you have a 6 to 8 ounce product. And then in April, it's going to go back down to $3.33. So actually it's going to end up being 7 cents cheaper than the old FBA fee. So that's why I was saying they're going to be lowering fees on the FBA fulfillment side, I think, to kind of offset that inbound fee that they're charging. Last one here on the inbound side of things, inbound, outbound, I guess. In addition to reflect the cost savings when products can be shipped in their existing packaging, we will offer a fulfillment fee discount ranging from 4 cents to $1.32, depending on item size and weight for eligible products in the ships in product packaging program. So this is very good if your product is packaged in something that could be shipped to the customer. You may have been noticing this. Remember back in the old days of ordering stuff on Amazon, everything came in an Amazon box. Like it would come in an Amazon box. Now, you might notice you're getting stuff from Amazon and it's not in an Amazon box. It's just in the product packaging. Ugh, I got a crazy story on this. I don't even know if I want to share it because it's kind of funny. I won't name names. And I don't think the person who's involved in this, my friend, is going to listen to this episode because it doesn't sell on Amazon. So he may never know about this. Hopefully none of my other friends who listen to this tell him. But let me give you a little, we're getting on a little tangent here, but it's kind of funny. So fantasy football. I'm in a fantasy football league. I've been the commissioner for over 10 years now with all my high school buddies. The loser punishment for last place this year was a photo shoot calendar where all of the other league members get to pick outfits for the loser. And we're going to do a photo shoot here in a couple of weeks with like a green screen, and we're going to, edit and make a nice, funny calendar. So we've got some hilarious costumes lined up. I'm not going to give away any spoilers just in case the loser does hear this episode, but we've got some hilarious costumes, and I got a good one. We are going to laugh so hard. But anyways, bottom line is I bought some like kind of somewhat scandalous apparel, right? Cause we're trying to be funny here, right? With the photo shoot. It's for a guy, but like I bought some scandalous apparel for it. Well, I ordered it on Amazon and it showed up not in an Amazon box. It was literally just chilling on my porch, and there's some leather and some like tassels going on. And my wife grabs it and she's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Wait, what? Why is that not in a package?" Like the Amazon delivery dude was probably like, "Wow, like they're getting spicing things up in there." So anyways, you might see stuff start to arrive on your porch, not in Amazon packaging. So if you are ordering stuff, I won't say what you decide, keep in mind your delivery driver or your neighbors might see it. So yeah, just be aware of that when you're ordering some, maybe your intimate products on Amazon. But from a seller perspective, guys, it's kind of nice because if your product can be shipped in its packaging, you're going to save on those FBA fees. You can just select shipped in product packaging program. And there's a page in Amazon Seller Central with more info on that. Okay, let's talk about some inventory stuff, some inventory storage fees. There's a couple new inventory storage fees being introduced. The first one is a low inventory level fee for standard sized products. This fee applies if you carry consistently low levels of inventory relative to unit sales, as this inhibits our ability to distribute products across our network, degrading delivery speeds and increasing our shipping costs. Sellers can avoid this fee by maintaining more than 4 weeks of inventory relative to sales. These fees will apply starting April 1st. Let me actually open this up. I spent a lot of time talking about this with my students on my weekly Q&A call back in December. The magic number, I'm just going to kind of give the Cliff Notes version for you guys on the podcast. The magic number here, guys, is 28 days, okay? 28 days. If you have less than 28 days of historical supply, and you can see this from your FBA inventory page, you're going to get an additional fee whenever that product is shipped and fulfilled to a customer. So you can see on this page right here, it's based on the historical days of supply, and it's per SKU. It's per SKU. So if you have a SKU that has 0 to 14 days of historical supply, and it will show that number in your FBA inventory, and it's a small standard up to 16 ounce, you will have an additional 89-cent fulfillment fee. Again, I understand the rationale here. I know everyone's going to freak out in the Amazon forums like, Amazon keeps raising our fees. Please, good. Leave Amazon. Stop selling on Amazon. It's more money for the rest of us. I understand what they're doing here. Let's say you're selling a lot. Like you got a nice product. It sells a lot. It sells all over the country, but you're running low on inventory. So you might have inventory in stock remember, there's tons of FBA warehouses. You might have inventory in Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Florida, and New York, but someone in Arizona wants to order your product. Well, you don't got any inventory in Arizona because your inventory levels are low. So when they order it and they're like, "Hey, I got a Prime account. Give me that Prime 2-day shipping." Amazon's like, "Well, crap, we got to give them Prime shipping." But the closest dog bandana is in Kansas. Then they got to go get your dog bandana, put it on an airplane, fly it to Arizona, and then get it to the customer in 2 days, right? That adds a lot of cost for Amazon. So they're passing that on to you. They're basically saying, look, if you're selling a lot, keep a lot of inventory in stock, enough for 28 days of supply so we can distribute it across the country. So no matter where someone orders it, we can get it on a van or truck and have it there in a day or, next day, right? So that's why they're doing this. The lower your inventory levels, and it's like a ratio to sales. And again, all this is in your Amazon FBA dashboard. You're going to have an additional fee. So magic number, guys, 28. You want to have all your SKUs above 28 days of supply, but you got to keep in mind the long-term storage fees as well. So this is what's going to be a big challenge for people, is trying to have enough inventory to where you don't have a low inventory level fee, but not too much inventory to where you have a long-term storage fee. It sucks. I get it. Inventory management, guys, is so hard. In fact, I post on Instagram a lot saying, hey guys, what kind of podcast episodes do you want? What should I record? What should come out? And people are like, how do you manage inventory? How do you manage inventory? How do you manage inventory levels? And a lot of times I'm just like, honestly, I've been doing this for 4 years. In fact, I went to college, guys. I went to college. I studied business management. I took supply chain classes where literally they teach you about supply chain, and it's still hard. It's still hard to like nail it perfectly. The sweet spot that I've seen, guys, is try to have around 60 days of inventory for every SKU. If you have float around that 45 to 60 day mark, you should be okay to where obviously you're not gonna have the low inventory level fee, but you should be okay where you're not gonna have long-term storage fees. Okay. So try to get on a good rhythm of that 60-day inventory. Now here's the nice thing. You're not gonna be charged this, guys, for the first year of selling your product. So even when you come out with a new SKU, you won't be charged this low inventory level fee for 1 year, because it's gonna take some time to like figure out the ebb and flow of the seasonality of your product sales. So that's what's nice, is they're letting us have some time to figure out kind of, the seasonality of the product so we can make sure our inventory is in the right places at the right times. Okay, to help enable you to carry sufficient levels of inventory, we will reduce the non-peak monthly storage fees for standard size products by an average of 9 cents per cubic foot from January through September. Monthly storage fees for non-standard size will remain unchanged. So I'll open up right. Okay, so here you go. Monthly inventory storage fee changes. So again, Amazon switched, I think it was last year, maybe it was 2 years ago, to like a cubic feet. Instead of units, it's like a cubic feet of storage space that you're allotted. They are lowering that. They are lowering that for the off peak. October through December, it's still the same, $2.40 per cubic foot. But from January through September, they're lowering it by, what did they say, 9 cents? So that's good. Lower storage fees to help kind of offset that low inventory fee. Okay, so a few more fee changes. I got 4 more here to wrap it up. Then we'll tie off this episode. Gosh, I know this is not a fun episode to listen to, but I think it's a necessary one. We will also provide the following new or expanded services and benefits. Wow, what a nice way to say that. We will reduce referral fees for apparel products priced below $20. For items priced under $15, again, apparel products. We will decrease the referral fees from 17% to 5%. Remember, the referral fee, guys, is the fee that Amazon charges for the privilege of selling on Amazon. That's Amazon's way of saying, hey, we're bringing the traffic to you because people are coming to our platform to shop. So that's what a referral fee is. 17 down to 5. So here's a big thing if you're selling apparel. Now, if it's a $15 to $20 piece of apparel, the referral fees drop from 17 to 10. Everything above 20 bucks is the same. So if you're like charging right on the verge, like if you're like, I don't know if I should sell for $14.99 or $15.99, you should probably sell for $14.99 because you're going to get a 5% reduction in referral fees. I mean, do the math, but I'm assuming that's probably how it's going to work out. Next, we introduced a new lower pricing structure for Amazon. This is not new. This was back in October, but they're just reiterating it here. With the Amazon Vine program, they have different tiers now. It used to be where you only paid the $200 for 11 to 30 reviews. Now you can get 1 to 2 reviews for free. So go get 2 reviews for free for every product. That's kind of nice. You can also choose to only do 3 to 10 for $75. But again, the best value is going to be 11 to 30 for $200. Okay. So more information on the Vine page. We will expand benefits as part of the US FBA new selection program. We will provide an average 10% rebate on sales of eligible new to FBA parent products. Go to the FBA new selection page for more details on this. Changes are taking place on March 1st. Yeah, there's a lot actually related to that. Like you get reduced Vine fees. I think you get like no returns processing fees for the first 20 units or for the first 180 days. Yeah, they're basically like kind of taking it easy on you for your new products that you're launching on Amazon. Again, to try to remove some of these fees and things and give you a little bit of rebate on like your referral fees and stuff to kind of help you, right? It's tough. It's tough to get a product launched. They realize that. So that's kind of the purpose of this new selection program. Last one here, guys. We will introduce introduce updated rates and new benefits for Supply Chain by Amazon, an automated set of supply chain services that provides an end-to-end solution to quickly and reliably move your products from manufacturers to customers around the world. We are updating the fees for Amazon Global Logistics, Partnered Carrier Program, and Amazon Warehousing and Distribution. We'll also provide new discounts for products that are auto-replenished by Amazon. Go to Supply Chain by Amazon page for more details. So again, you can find that on the Supply Chain by Amazon, everything about that. We heard from our students that they're going to start accepting small parcel delivery soon. Last year, they were only accepting pallet deliveries, which doesn't apply to a lot of us as new sellers. So if you're trying to do AWD, warehousing and distribution, be on the lookout for updates to be able to send small parcel delivery so that you can enroll in that program if you want to use AWD as your 3PL. Guys, that's what I got for our updates to 2024 Amazon FBA fees. I'm sure we're going to have another one of these here in the next few months, maybe probably the second half of the year, I would assume. Yeah, looking forward to a big, great 2024. Understand these fees, strategize to make sure you're minimizing those fees the best that you can to maximize your profit. Guys, we've got more podcast episodes coming on the way for you guys here in 2024. Once again, I'm Andy. You're listening to Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. See you in the next episode.